The wildcat Pallas cat is a predatory representative of small cats in the feline family. The manul is an interesting and unusual animal. The manul cat is intelligent, cautious, and secretive. The animal manul is also called a Pallas cat. In this article you will find a description of the Pallas cat and its photo, and you can learn a lot of interesting things about the amazing animal with the mysterious name Pallas cat. You can start the description of the Pallas cat manul with its appearance. Pallas cat looks like an ordinary cat, only bigger and fluffier. The size of the Pallas cat is from 50 to 65 centimeters, with a tail length of up to 30 centimeters, weighs between 2 and 5 kilograms. Pallas cats. The wild cat Pallas cat differs from the average cat by its more massive body, short strong paws and very thick poll. By the way, a manul's 6 can reach a length of 7 centimeters. The Pallas cat has the fluffiest and thickest fur among the felines. The Pallas cat looks stern due to the peculiar sideburns on its cheeks, which are formed by tufts of long hair. The Pallas cat has a wide flattened head and small, widely spaced rounded ears. The eyes of the Pallas cat are very expressive and yellow in color. Surprisingly, the pupils of the eyes of these cats, in contrast to the pupils of domestic cats, do not narrow in bright light, but remain round. The wild Pallas cat has a long fluffy tail, with a rounded tip. The coloration of the Pallas cat is combined, and is represented by a range of light gray and yellowish-brown colors. The Pallas cat has an unusual appearance. Since the tips of his hair are colored white, it seems as if a Pallas cat's fur is powdered with snow or covered with frost. The rear part of the body and tail have narrow transverse stripes of dark color. Black stripes stretch from the corners of the eyes and along the sides of the muzzle, and there are specks of dark color on the forehead. The lower part of the animal's body is brown with a white patina. The tip of the tail is colored black. The Pallas cat has sharp teeth and claws. The manul animal has a very specific appearance. It is assumed that this cat is related to Persian cats. The wild cat manul was discovered by the German scientist Peter Pallas, who in the 18th century conducted researches on the shores of the Caspian Sea. It was in his honor that the Pallas cat was named Pallas cat. Pallas cat lives in Central and Central Asia. Pallas cat habitat extends from southern Transcaucasia and western Iran to Transbaikalia, Mongolia, and northwestern China. Depending on territorial affiliation, Pallas cats vary slightly in coloration and size. In Russia, the Pallas cats inhabit several areas: eastern, Transbaikal, and Tuva-Altaic. In these areas, the Pallas cat is distributed in the steppe and forest steppe zones. In total, there are 3 subspecies of the Pallas cat: the common, Central Asian, and Tibetan. The first subspecies has a typical color and lives in Mongolia and western China. The second subspecies of Pallas cat lives in Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Turkmenistan, Iran, Kyrgyzstan, and Afghanistan. It is characterized by reddish coloration with distinct reddish stripes. The third subspecies of Pallas cat lives in Tibet, Nepal, and Kashmir. This subspecies has a gray coat with distinct dark-colored stripes. In winter, the color of the Tibetan Pallas cat turns silver. The Pallas cat lives in rather harsh climatic conditions, with low temperatures and abrupt changes in weather. The Pallas cat prefers low snow cover, as its short paws do not allow it to move through the deep snow. Therefore, the wild cat manul is most numerous in areas with little snow. Pallas cat lives in steppes and semi-desert areas of mountains, choosing places with thickets of bushes, the presence of rock placers and rock cracks. In the mountains, the Pallas cat rises up to 3 to 5 kilometers above sea level. In lowlands and the forest belt, it is rare. The Pallas cat lives sedentary and solitary, usually being active at dusk and early morning. During the day, he sleeps, hiding in a shelter. The wild manul makes shelter under rocks, in old burrows of marmots, foxes, and badgers, as well as in small caves and rock crevices. The manul is a territorial predator that jealously guards its territory and does not like visitors, so it drives away any unwanted visitor. The coloring of the Pallas cat serves this wild cat as a kind of camouflage, which helps him in hunting and allows him to remain unnoticed by his prey. However, Pallas cat is one of the slowest representatives of the feline family. But its excellent eyesight and hearing allow it to be a skilled trapper. The Pallas cat feeds on a variety of rodents and pica. Occasionally, the manul feeds on hares, birds, gophers, and marmots. The manul catches its prey by stealth. It waits for its prey near burrows or stalks its prey hiding near rocks, and then attacks it with a quick dash. This wild cat is very cautious when hunting. Pallas cat cannot run fast, so the chase of prey is not his game. In summer, the manul feeds on various large insects, in case there is a shortage of rodents. Despite its severe appearance, the Pallas cat is not aggressive. The Pallas cat has almost no enemies, only wolves and large birds of prey pose a danger to this wild cat. Pallas cat is not the kind of animal that rushes to showdown and fight back to the enemy. This cat tries to flee and hide in a shelter. But when a Pallas cat is caught unawares and there is no escape route to the shelter, it starts snorting menacingly and showing its sharp teeth. Pallas cats reproduce once a year, and they have the ability to do it at the age of 10 months. The breeding season is in February-March. In case of competition, the right to a female goes to the strongest of the males. Pallas cat pregnancy lasts about 2 months, and during this time, the female makes her lair. Pallas cats are born in April or May. Usually, 2 to 6 Pallas cat kittens are born. The male does not take part in raising the babies. A Pallas cat is about 12 centimeters long and weighs up to 300 grams. Pallas cat cubs are born blind and completely helpless. The cubs begin to see on the 10th to 12th day, and the female feeds and takes care of the cubs with milk. At about 3 to 4 months, they will go hunting for the first time. Pallas cat kittens grow quickly and reach adult size by 6 to 8 months. The Pallas cat lives an average of 11 to 12 years. Today the Pallas cat is a rare animal, and its population is rapidly decreasing. The manul is listed in the Red Book. Over the last decade, in some places, the wildcat manul has been virtually exterminated and is now on the verge of extinction. The exact number of Pallas cats remains unknown due to the large territorial dispersion of habitat and the secretive lifestyle of the Pallas cat. In the early 2000s, experts estimated the number of Pallas cats at approximately 3,500. Pallas cat habitat is practically unaffected by humans. Pallas cat was in the Red Book due to poaching for its fur. The Pallas cat population is also affected by the untethered keeping of dogs, mass use of traps, and various traps to catch hares and foxes. In addition to the above-mentioned reasons, Pallas cat is listed in the Red Book due to the reduction of food supply, as the number of rodents that Pallas catches has decreased considerably. Many rodents are killed by owls and wolves, and young animals often die of various diseases. Pallas cat population is also affected by weather conditions. In snowy winters, these animals suffer from a lack of food. Pallas cat has been in the Red Book of Russian Federation since 1995 and has a status of near threatened. Hunting the Pallas cat is prohibited. In captivity, Pallas cats breed quite successfully, but there is a problem of high mortality rate of Pallas cat cubs from toxoplasmosis. Wildcat Pallas cat is poorly studied due to its secretive way of life and mosaic habitat, therefore, organization of measures for protection of this species requires time. If you liked this video and you like wild animals, subscribe to our channel to be the first to receive only the newest and most exciting videos about different animals of our planet.